Hi, and welcome again to Caboose Fresh. Today we're doing apple and cinnamon crumble with homemade custard. So if you haven't used this before, I'll just take a little minute to explain a bit more about the concept. So you'll have received a bag, and in the bag you'll have all the ingredients for this particular recipe already weighed and measured out for you. You'll have a recipe. On there it tells you step by step what to do. Also in the recipe sheet there's some preparation tasks to be done. This one is about just coring and peeling your apples. And I also suggest having the crumble topping mixed in advance. Now, I have done the apples. I've got all the ingredients set out. It's a good idea that you do that too. But I haven't made the crumble topping in advance because I'm going to show you how to do that. But you can sort of watch and pause the video and get yourself set up once you're ready. So we've got our head chef Dan here as well, and Dan's going to sort of talk me through how to do this, because for the recipe, if you're like me, it's often you find there's bits missing or you come up against a challenge and you don't know what to do basically. So Dan's role here is to sort of keep me on my toes and give us hints and tips as we go along. There's little bits that Dan will offer that's never going to be written down on paper. So Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about this dish before we get going?
Yeah, it's just one of the desserts we have on in the restaurant. It's just a popular dessert, it's an apple crumble. Everybody knows what a crumble tastes like. But this is with a homemade custard, and the crumble topping is really nice. It's a little bit different. But it's like we sell loads in the restaurant, so it seems stupid not to have it on,
Yeah, cool. Okay, right. Well, I'm ready. I've got everything sort of laid out in bowls. I've got the apples, taken the core out of them, I've peeled them, and I've chopped them into 8 pieces each apple. So, ready to go?
Right. Okay, I reckon we'll just try and do everything all at once, because what you have to do is...
Right.
Yeah, I know, because I just thought that now. Because what you have to do, you have to be crumbling the crumble topping, which will be done in advance. Well, in your case, you're doing it now. So I would be getting a bowl, like a glass bowl, and mix your diced butter, the 200 grams of flour, and the demerara sugar. Not the 5 tablespoons, the 100 grams of demerara sugar mixed into that.
Chuck them all in a bowl.
Yeah, just put them in a bowl. No, just that's just straight in.
And the large amount, yeah?
Yeah, the bigger amount, aye. Right, okay, so now I would get your milk for the custard into a pan and slowly start heating that up. And I'll also get some heat under that frying pan straight away. So what you'll do, you'll have the milk coming to the boil. You're going to be caramelizing the apples, and at the same time, you'll be like crumbling that mixture in the bowl to make the crumble toppings. You're going to be doing them all at the same time.
Got a feeling I'm getting stitched up here, Dan.
You'll be fine, man.
Right, pan's getting hot, milk's on, stuff's in the bowl.
Right, your pan's already hot, did you say? Oh, it's getting hot now?
Getting hot.
Right, okay, so the demerara sugar you've got, put about a quart at the bottom of that pan in demerara sugar. I'd say about 2 tablespoons worth of demerara sugar in the bottom of that frying pan. You don't need a lot in there, but just enough to caramelize the bottom. And just give it a shake, so make sure it's spread around. And what you're going to do, when that sugar is melted and it's starting to turn to caramel, which it won't take long, add the apples. I'm not sure how big your pan is, what I can tell from here. You don't want too many apples in the pan. If you need to do it in 2 batches, do it in 2 batches.
Okay.
You need to get colour on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they might all fit in there. I can't really see from here.
While
that's waiting to melt, yeah, just start crumbling that stuff in the bowl.
Crumbling it.
Sorry?
What do you mean crumbling
it? In your hands, like just crumble it together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So break the butter up and like rub the butter in between your fingers,
okay.
and you'll feel it come together. But just keep an eye on the rest of the stuff while you're doing that, because it could go seriously wrong with this.
Hold on, you told me this would be fine.
Right, and you've got the milk's on the heat now, is it?
Yeah, the milk's heating up.
And the sugar, just keep an eye on that sugar, because that's the dangerous part, really. You need to really control the heat with that.
Okay.
So do you think those apples in that bowl will all fit in that pan and coat the bottom? Or do you think it's going to be like crowded?
I think there might be a little bit too much apples for the size of the pan.
Right,
so
okay.
Do they all have to be sort of touching the base of the pan?
Oh, yeah, 100%, with a little bit of room around them as well, so you can move them around and get a bit of colour on them.
that sugar's beginning to caramelise now.
Right, so I would stop with the crumbling for now, and then get ready to drop the apples in there. So yeah, drop half the apples in. Watch them splash yourself. Yeah, half of them. Now just let them colour. Don't move them straight away, because you want to get a bit of colour on the bottom. All right.
Yeah.
So give it, and you can even turn the heat down a little bit if you want, but just keep an eye on it. As long as it's not burning, it needs to caramelise. So don't want the heat too low. This is something where you've got to kind of use a bit of initiative as well, and just see it start to colour a bit.
That's where that's going to go wrong.
Well, now you've got a small amount of butter there as well, which is left, aye?
Yeah.
The small bit of butter. Add a little bit of that butter to the pan with the apples. Just a tiny bit, like a little, like well, even half of it will be fine, to be honest. And then just leave it. And you'll see it start to melt. And you need to be able to tell yourself whether it's starting to burn or not, because I can't tell from here, obviously.
I don't think it's burning. It's
caramelising though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely caramelised.
Right, just give the pan one toss. Just toss it once, and just give it, just so it's moving around a little. There you go. Look, they look lovely. So you see what I mean now? You just want that colour on all of them, and just keep it going. Now, is that mix? See the crumble topping? Is the butter all like incorporated into the flour?
Very much, yeah. There's a few lumps still.
Right. Okay. Well, keep an eye on that pan and just toss that pan again now. Right. And now add half of the cinnamon and a tiny bit more butter to that. Just half of that cinnamon. And toss that around. Does it look about right?
Lovely, yeah.
Right, okay. Once they're caramelised, you can take them off and do the next ones. Because bear in mind it's going to be baked as well. So now, right now you're just getting colour on them. So go for sugar straight back in that pan.
Right, I've had a volcano with the milk.
That's fine, just turn it off. Right then, sugar can go in there. And right, while you're waiting for that, just give that pan a shake and let the sugar spread around a bit, so it's not just in two lumps. There, just like that, aye. And then you do the same again.
I like how you say that's fine, but you're not the one going to get into trouble now for covering the hob in milk. So I'll just leave that milk off now.
Yeah, just leave that for now, aye. Right, and once your sugar's melted, add the apples, you're going to do the same again. So you're fine with this now, you know what to do with these. So as soon as those apples go into that pan, you need to take the caster sugar and whisk the caster sugar into the egg yolks, right?
Okay.
And then when that's incorporated, you're going to add the flour into that and whisk that into that mix as well. 20 grams of flour that you've got somewhere.
Like my little Mr. Menbo.
That's amazing, right?
I think so.
Right, that's in, yeah. Then just spread them out with a little bit of butter you can add in as well whenever you're ready. Right, okay, so now you need in the big bowl, you've got to have the egg yolks and the sugar.
Just into this clean bowl there.
Yeah, that's right, aye. And you're going to whisk them in. And always just keeping an eye on those apples, because that's where it can burn. Right, and whisk that straight away, because if you don't whisk it straight away, the sugar will start to cook the eggs. Mark,
Oh,
I've got a parcel at the door. Just give me 2 seconds. I have it up here. Is that for 69, is it? You already just dropped it
this
there.
doesn't need to be as hard as this, you know. I'm quite confident. I get stitched up half the time. Right, Dan, that's
Right, that's what. So you need to add the flour into there and whisk the flour in.
add this into the flour.
No, the flour into there.
Which flour?
Huh?
What, this flour?
Yes, there should be 20 grams of flour there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, add that into there and whisk it in. Right, are your apples okay, Mark?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so you need to get the cinnamon in there and then take them off.
All of the cinnamon.
Yes, aye. Right, so once that's whisked in, toss your apples around. Once that's whisked in, take your apples off the heat and add the apples to the bowl just like you did with the last ones.
Okay.
Right, so I take your apples off and stick the apples in the bowl, and then what you need to do is take that hot milk and pour that hot milk into the egg mix that's in the bowl there, the hot milk, and whisk that straight in.
Just put it all in.
Yeah, go for it straight away, and then whisk it as fast as you can, just so it mixes, you know.
I'm going to get killed for this hog.
Ah, you'll be fine, man. I've got 2 parcels sitting at the door. I'm gonna have to go and get them in. If you add that liquid there back to the pan which you boiled the milk in, right?
Yeah.
And then over a really low heat, take a spoon and just slowly stir it over a really low heat, and it should get thick like that. It should get thick quite quickly into your custard. So as soon as that thickens, just take it off and you pass it through a sieve into a bowl. All right. And this takes a couple of minutes, so I'm going to go and get my parcel, right? I'll be right back.
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm sure I get stitched up with half of these. I'm sure also you'll be able to see the benefit and the value that Dan adds, giving his little hints and tips here. I've followed recipes all for a long time, and every now and then you get completely caught out by something that you just don't quite understand. So, or you come up against a challenge, and this is where Dan sort of helps us out. Oh, here he is.
I had to go wash my hands
Because we get delivered personality or a sense of humour. Chef, cookbook.
It's from Boots.
Dear me. Right, so the custard's in the pan. I've been stirring it.
Is it still quite thin?
Yeah.
Right. Turn the heat up, but just keep stirring it. You just want to make sure you don't scramble it. If you turn it up too high, you'll make scrambled eggs with it.
All right.
You'll see. Just make sure you're scraping the bottom as well of the pan.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. You'll feel it start to catch a little bit. Then you need to pass that through a sieve, mind.
Yeah.
When it comes off. And have you got oven-proof dish there for your crumble to go in the oven?
No.
No. You can even put it in that pan if you want.
I'll have a look.
And is it getting thicker, that?
Yeah, it's beginning to thicken up.
Right. Okay. So just be careful when it does that, you know. Because
Some
that's when
lumps beginning to come in it.
There's what? Sorry.
A couple of lumps in it.
Ah, right. So stop it, turn it off, because that should be starting to catch at the bottom. Now, if you just coat the back of the spoon when you lift the spoon out, is it thick enough to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it ready. So you need to pass that through a sieve into another bowl.
I've used just about every bowl I've got, mate.
Or just pass it into a pan even, because you're going to have to pour it out, you know?
No. You're good.
That's it.
What's the point in that?
Just if there's any lumps in it or anything, it just takes them out. It makes it smoother as well, you know? Because you don't want to press it right the way through. Just want to tap it a little bit. Tap the top of the thing and just get then whatever excess is left, just get rid of it. So that's it. Now you'll need your oven-proof dish, and that's everything's ready to go in the oven now. So then you can pause the video for, say, 15, 20 minutes. Bake the crumble in the oven. It could take 10 minutes, just depends on how powerful the oven is, if it's a fan oven or whatever.
Right, so what am I doing with the apples?
Right, so apples straight in the bowl. In the dish, sorry. And then take the crumble topping. Now, it says this on the SOP as well. Yeah, perfect then. Right, so you want to take a fistful of this crumble topping, right, and squeeze it together so it becomes one, right? And then crumble it up into big chunks, break it off into big chunks, because they're much nicer when it's big and chunky and you get a nice crunch from the demerara sugar, rather than it being like sand, you know?
Yeah.
When you get a crumble in the 70s or something like that, apparently that's what it was like, just really, really crumbled loads, but this is much nicer for it to be chunky. Is it working all right, is it?
Yeah.
And I would always put more topping on than I do apples. I always put like 1/3 apples and 2/3 topping because it's really nice, the topping, you know?
It is quite crumbly now.
Yeah, it's good.
Quite like sand though.
What, you squeezing it together in your hand though?
Yeah, but it's still, should I add this little bit more butter in?
You could do. It should be squeezing together just fine. If you had 100 grams of butter in there, and you had 100 grams of demerara sugar,
yeah,
and you had 200 grams of flour, it should squeeze together perfectly fine.
It is squeezing together. It's just this the stuff that's left in the bowls. A bit loose.
That's all right if you squeeze it. Does it form one ball in your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine then. That's fine. Doesn't matter if there's bits of crumble on. It's just nice to have some crunchy bits, you know? Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Then that can go in the oven for about, I'd say 15 minutes. Should be fine, 15 minutes at 180 or 190.
Okay. Alright. Is that me for now?
Yeah, for now, right.
Right, okay, well, we'll just pause it while that's in the oven and we'll come back once it's ready to come out, okay? Okay, we're back. So the crumble's been in the oven. Timer's just gone off, so Dan, just grab it out of the oven, yeah?
Yeah, just pull it out of the oven, and all you're going to do, let it cool down for a bit because it'll burn your mouth off. And just serve it with a bit of custard, as you normally would, and just enjoy it. And that's pretty much it. You can see the kitchen's nice and clean now.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Yeah, it looks lovely, man.
That looks awesome, that.
Yeah, it looks spot on. Exactly right. Yeah.
How do we serve that, Dan?
So, like I say, you can do it how you like. I would let it cool down, but if you're just going to serve it up now, I'll just take a big spoon, take a chunk of it, stick it in that bowl, and pour some of the custard on top, and that's it. There's no fancy way to eat a crumble, you know what I mean?
Wow. It's boiling hot, man.
What you can also do with that, if you like, when you're frying the apples, at the end of frying the apples, if you add a little bit of vanilla essence and just take it straight off the heat, it's really nice. You don't need to do that for this recipe, but it's just nice if you try it again. Yeah, just pour it on, eh? Don't taste it on the camera though, because you'll make a really loud scream. It's absolutely scathing.
Yeah, that smells and looks amazing. It looks great in that dish as well, that tin. And just looks like, like you said, it's a bowl of apple crumble and custard. It can't look anything different, can it?
No, you can't make it look pretty like.
So, okay, we're done. Looks great. I can't wait to try it. The smells, I can smell that cinnamon, even although it was just a little bit that went in, I can
Oh
smell
yeah,
it.
you just need a tiny little pinch of that stuff in it. It's really strong.
Okay, well, again, if I can cook that, you certainly can cook it as well. Try not to destroy your hob like I did. I did say I'm no expert, so yeah, thanks very much again for using Caboose Fresh. Keep an eye out for more new items coming on the menu all the time, and thanks to Dan for keeping us right.
Thank you.
Cheers.